We are late night in the dungeon. Um, had a few suggestions earlier on social media about videoing how I'm going to do this repair. It's a Mathews Triax, has a hard right tear. I'm going to shim the cam over to the right by swapping top hats. It's a pretty straightforward procedure, quick and easy. So let me get the bow set up in the press and show you how I do it. Bows in the press. This is going to be short, not too fancy, just quick and easy. Hopefully painless. When putting the bow in the bow press, just add enough tension to the limb tips, give a little bit of slack on the strings. Um, Slack on the cables, nothing crazy, just enough to we can, if I needed to pull the string off the cam, it's barely enough. So basically what we want to do is remove this screw from both sides, and then we're going to pull the axle out, and then tell here, but we're going to take this spacer and this spacer and then swap them. I'm going to do that for both sides. Alright, so I got the screws out. Now I need to take the axle and push it through. I use an Allen with a ball so it doesn't tear up the threads on the inside. Um, the axle pops out. Alright, so this is pretty difficult to do, trying to self-film, but we have a spacer here and a spacer here. Pull the axle out, pull the cam up, and then remove the spacers and swap them. There's the axle. Now the fun part, try not to drop anything. And I like to keep everything attached to the cam so nothing changes, sync or anything. Set that right here. You can kind of see but here's the spacer. We're going to swap this one over to there. These are pretty much, it's not picking up, but sorry for there we go. Use an Allen or some other small little object just to get it moving. Let me see. I don't know if I'll be able to say it in the video, but there's a definite now we'll install a wider one on the left, skinny one on the right. Pull the cam up in the position. See if we can get lucky and drive that axle home first shot, which we did. So Reinstall these little guys on the ends. Don't snug them up, just get them in there. And you have to make sure you get the right amount of turns, I guess, on each. It's a good way to describe it. That way the axle's staying nice and balanced in the limbs until you really get it tight. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. It's a lot easier than most people think. It's nice having the shims spacers, just a single on each side. Ain't nothing worse than dropping a bunch of small little Teflon washers on some bows. Check we're still attached, and that's pretty much how I swap top hats on Mathews. I'll repeat the other the top half now. Don't need to film that. It's the same thing. Well, just got done. Took off the press. Get ready to fire a couple shots off, but pretty much, like I said, we got the large spacer on the left, pushing the cam over to the right to fix a right tear. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. It's not as complicated as some people think. It's a pretty nice setup. You know, hopefully it does a job, and he doesn't have to buy the shim kit from Mathews. Hope everyone enjoys. It's kind of fun.